We're going to call the meeting to order.
Okay, I will.
First item of business is invocation by Pastor Keith Roundby at the Mount Zion congregation. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Danny Kardachuk. Pastor not here? No. In that case, Chaplain Ferguson will lead us.
Glad you're here tonight.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Let's pray. Loving Father, we do praise you for who you are. You are our creator. You're the one that gives us power. You're the one that gives us wisdom. We thank you for what you provide for this council and for this town. We pray that that will continue through tonight and give us all the guidance. Thank you for those being honored tonight, Father, for the service they give to our community. Thank you for each that are here. We give you our praise and thanksgiving in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chaplain, and thank you, Danny. Next item is roll call. Diane?
Mayor Skoog.
Present.
Vice Mayor Nye. Here. Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Grossman.
I am here.
Councilmember Mallory. Here. Councilmember Rooney.
Here.
Councilmember Whiting.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, now proclamations. Charitable Tax Giving Month. Is Robin Layton here? No.
I don't see her.
Someone here to receive that proclamation? And then No Shave Month. And who's going to receive that?
Mr. Mayor and Council, as you are well aware, for 3 years now, we have gone ahead and embraced a movement that is going on nationwide. As you are well aware, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we have a banner out on the building. We have pink lights on around the top of the Civic Center, and there has been a movement started about 4 years ago to have the month of November as Men's Health and Prostate Cancer Awareness, and so it is suggested that that's also No Shave November. They all lump together as a way to raise awareness for prostate cancer and men's health. And so to that end, folk are not supposed to shave. And so if you choose to go down that path, we have a proclamation, and it would be the third year in a row that we have honored such an occasion.
So, Diane, would you read the first one, the one about charitable tax giving?
I will, Mayor. Charitable Tax Credit Giving Month, November 2018. Whereas the State of Arizona Tax Credit Program enables taxpayers to contribute $400 for a single taxpayer and $800 for taxpayers filing a joint tax return and receive a dollar-for-dollar tax credit on their Arizona tax bill. And whereas the full amount can be given to a qualified charitable organization of their choice and or school of their choice. The taxpayers can use their tax dollars to express their beliefs and values by supporting a charity that does the work they hold dear. And whereas employers are urged to adopt the option to allow employees to contribute to a qualifying charitable organization from state withholding, thereby not reducing take-home pay. And whereas employees are encouraged to take advantage of the opportunity to contribute to a qualifying charitable organization from their state tax withholding without reducing take-home pay, whereas by donating to a qualified charitable organization in a school, taxpayers are in effect given the opportunity to choose how to use a portion of their tax dollars. And whereas taxpayers no longer need to itemize in order to participate in the Arizona Tax Credit Program, And whereas the Arizona Tax Credit Program is a way of keeping our tax dollars in this community, keeping tax dollars local through the charitable giving tax credit builds a stronger and better community at no cost to the donors. Now, therefore, I, Harvey C. Skoog, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, in partnership with Yavapai Big Brothers and Big Sisters, do hereby declare November 2018 as Charitable Tax Credit Giving Month, and for the good of the community, urge residents to keep their money local by making a donation to a qualified local charity and school.
Comments, Vice Mayor?
Number one, let's check and make sure that no one came in after we came down to accept this. Apparently not. What would we do if we didn't have charitable giving? I don't want to think about that, do you? It's very important to our society, and there's so many multiple needs that I think wouldn't... I'm thinking of individuals with health conditions. If we didn't have charitable giving, they wouldn't have treatment, they wouldn't have care, they wouldn't have Meals on Wheels. That's where my brain is going right now, how important it is for those of us who are able to give, so those that need are taken care of. And after all, we're still America. We still have a lot of charity.
It doesn't reduce your taxes. It will on a federal, but on a state too. It's a reduction of your, or take it instead of in lieu of state tax that you give up to $800 for a couple. The next one we have is No Shave Month. Diane, you want to read that? Larry has already explained it. And I take it that Larry's going to receive it.
Danny should.
Oh, Danny should.
Danny should.
Danny, come on up, Danny.
Good call. Good call.
No Shave November 2018. Whereas among American men, prostate cancer is both the second most commonly diagnosed cancer and the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Although prostate cancer incidence and mortality rates have declined over the past 2 decades, this year alone, an estimated 230,000 men in the United States will be diagnosed with the illness, and almost 30,000 men will die from this disease. And whereas 1 in 8 men have a chance of being diagnosed with prostate cancer, and testicular cancer is the most common cancer in American males between the ages of 15 and 35. Despite these facts, 90% of prostate cancer is treatable if caught in the early stages. This makes awareness and early detection crucial. Being responsible for your health at every age and always getting your annual health check is a key part of making positive change for men's health. And whereas the No Shave November campaign encourages men to grow a beard for 30 days during the month of November, thereby becoming walking and talking billboards for the men's health to raise awareness, encourage conversation about men's health issues, and raise funds for research and programs that combat prostate cancer and testicular cancer. And whereas educating the public and healthcare providers about the importance of healthy lifestyles and early detection of male health problems will result in reducing the rates of mortality from disease. Now, therefore, I, Harvey C. Skoog, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, Arizona, do hereby declare November 2018 as No Shave November, and urge all men in the Town of Prescott Valley to show their support of men's health initiatives by growing a beard for 30 days.
Thank you, Diane. Comments, Vice Mayor?
Well, I wasn't picking on Danny. He's growing his for dual purpose. And he mimicked me, ho, 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 because he's going to be our Santa. And we thank you for that, Danny.
Comments, Danny?
You know what? Tell all your friends to come out for the parade and the lights, and the seasons are coming real fast, right at us.
Is that all? That was all, I guess. Anyway, it's very important. We want to take care of people, and the proclamation is encourage men to get you take good care of their health. And Danny, thank you for accepting that.
I'd talk more, but I'm not the mayor.
Go ahead. Go ahead, you can have that. Okay, next one, we have another very special one. Certification, a certificate of appreciation to Heidi Dahms Foster for 5 years of service. Do you have any comments, Dan?
No, sir, I do not. I
Mr.
believe-
Mayor, I certainly do. I've had the pleasure of knowing Heidi Foster Dahms for 30 years. And we were very fortunate 5 years ago to be able to offer her a job after a competitive process and bring her to the town's organization after a very long and distinguished career in journalism elsewhere. Now, I'm going to avoid going into a lot of the details, which would be a lot of fun, and tell you all a bunch of stories about Heidi that would make her blush. But choosing to do that with the appropriate decorum, we will avoid that and just go ahead and thank Heidi for coming to work for the town of Prescott Valley, for doing such a great job of making Volunteer Central a reality and growing our volunteer base, which she has done a very good job. And in addition to that, I don't know if any of you will recall the first time she did a presentation to council, she was scared to death. Shaking, scared to death. And her voice trembled because when you're a journalist, the last thing you do is get in front of a camera or a microphone. And this young lady went ahead and handled that rather well, despite fear and trepidation. In addition to that, she's been on Channel 56, and the first time she did that, she was loaded with fear and trepidation. But since, she has grown professionally, and we're very fortunate to see that evolution, although her journalism remains stellar as it always has been. And Heidi, thank you for being such an asset to this community. So you've done a fabulous job, so thank you.
Vice
and
Mayor,
you now have
comment?
15 years more.
Well, Heidi and I go back a ways, too. I used to sit in her office when she was a journalist. And you know what? She gets to be more fun now. She wanted to be then, but there was just these rules. But she often broke them when I was in there with her. Larry was telling her about her being on TV. She doesn't like that at all. But she's a champ on radio. I've tagged her a lot. I've been filling in for the mayor doing his radio show for the last year or so. And we get going, and you enjoy it, I think. You do, good. All right, now, I heard Larry talk about Volunteer Central. I thought it was Doggy Central. Yeah. Yes. Explain what that's about.
In Volunteer Central, aka Doggy Central, all dogs in the community are welcome to come and visit me, and I have the magic black box complete with cheese sticks.
Jody?
You know, Heidi, I've had opportunity to work with you, and you're just such a joy to work with. Not just the ideas that you come up, and, you know, we go into a lot of laughter a lot of times, which is a good thing. We all need that. But just getting the word out there for people is so important. You do a really good job at that. And besides that, you're a really good person, and I just enjoy serving alongside you. Thank you for your service here.
Marty?
Yeah, I've known Heidi for a while, and knowing her from when she was doing the paper to now, there are so many talents that this lady has that nobody really knows about. I mean, she has a title of our communications person and of running Volunteer Central, but there are so many other things that she does behind the scenes that few of you are aware of. For example, at the CASA Center, they had a newsletter. They have a newsletter that they put out. It seems like every week, but it's every month. And she totally revamped that so that it's a lot more readable and it's a better presentation. And she does that with our monthly the insert in the water bill, and I mean just so many different things that she's part of. And if you don't know her well, then you don't know her love of dogs. I mean, she's brought a couple of the dog shows to us, and she's always talking about that. She has a part in the dog magazine that comes out on a regular basis. So there are a lot of things that she does that she doesn't step up and take credit for, but she's there, and she's just an absolute incredible person, and I'm so happy we have her on staff here. So thank you, Heidi.
Mike?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like 5 years. You know, I've been on the council about 5 years, so we came on at kind of the same time. Well, we just have so much fun. You know, that's the next step, I think, in terms of what's going to happen, and I think there will be some sort of Doggy Central developed, for the town of Prescott Valley. But it helps us, I think, in terms of our goal to be transparent to the community, and, you know, I think a lot has happened, and a lot of information goes out in terms of what we're doing, and that's because of you, so we appreciate your efforts and help. Thank you.
Rick?
Our town and our community couldn't possibly function correctly without its volunteers. And we're really grateful for all of those volunteers. And we couldn't possibly have the volunteer support that we have if it weren't for Heidi and all the hard work that she does. It's amazing how well she's brought that program together. And like Marty said, she does so much more for our town and for our community that doesn't get noticed as often as it should. You know, I live in the dog world too, so I understand a lot of that on a daily basis. So, and I appreciate that, and that's just a part of it. You know, that just touches on the kind of joy that Heidi brings to our town, and she does that daily. And that's so important, and I want to thank you, Heidi, for everything.
Thank you. Mary?
Well, what I think of is the first time I actually met you, and that's when I was going to be running for a council seat. And it was our past councilwoman, Fran Schumacher, who brought me in, and we all sat down in your office over there at the newspaper and talked and everything, and I was scared to death because, you know, going to the newspaper, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, but how's this all going to come out? But Heidi, you're just a wonderful person. You are just got a heart of gold, and Larry's so right when he says that we got a gem, because we definitely do. You are fabulous. Everything that gets put out there, the press releases, everything for the healing field, everything. I mean, you're just right in all of it. We couldn't do all this without you. You get the word out. We love you, and you do a great job. And I've got Ivy. You gave me Ivy from one of your pup litters, and she knows exactly where your office is, so she's up the stairs and down there getting her treats, too. So you're great, and thank you. Just thank you.
Mary, if I could, I'd like the record to reflect I did not call her a gem.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I think she's a gem. She's a diamond. Hello.
Okay, Randy, you're supposed to come up here too. Did you know that?
Mr. Mayor, if I could just chime in.
Chime in.
Yeah, the legal department actually is beholden to Heidi.
I figured that
because we have a bunch of people in my department who think of themselves as great photographers. And so we actually had a competition in my department of all the photographers, and Heidi was our judge, and only Heidi could be considered, she's considered such a great photographer that her choice was accepted by the many egos in my office, and so we sure appreciated that.
I don't know what you did, but you definitely got the fear of, the fear of the thing out of Mary. She no longer has. Some comments there, Randy?
On October 28th, 2003, I had the opportunity to marry this young lady. And it was a real blessing because I was divorced and been divorced for 4 or 5 years, something like that. And it was such a privilege to be able to ask her. I was kind of in awe of her, as like, she was known as Miss PV. And so to ask her to marry me, and then the question came up of where we're going to live. And without a hesitation, she sold me on Prescott Valley. I was raised in Prescott, so it was an opportunity to move out here, and she was so welcomed by you folks. Just made so appreciated. So thank you.
You don't say anything in your defense, Heidi?
No, one of the things that I so appreciate about working here is just the relationship that all the employees at Prescott Valley have, and the fact that I have the best job in the world. Everybody appreciates everything you do, from the management all the way down to every employee. And so it feels so good to work in a place that you're appreciated, and we just have a blast together. So I am just so grateful. I thank God every day for the opportunity to work here. I really do. So.
Heidi, everybody loves you. And to sum it up, Vice Mayor has a thing there.
Before I do that, Randy, you're a much better man now that you're a PV resident. Just wanted to get that in there. Oh, my dear Heidi. Obviously, this says Certificate of Appreciation. And that word doesn't really cover all of our emotions. Presented to Heidi Foster in appreciation for 5 years of dedicated, lots of fun, lots of diversity, a lot of other things that it doesn't really say on here. Dedicated service to the town of Prescott Valley. Of course, that's October 30th, 2013 through October 30th, 2018. So imagine all those other adjectives and words on there. And we just have a little piece of paper here that will translate into dollars for you. And Heidi, bless you, because that's what you do to all of us.
What are you doing, Mayor? Photobombing. Uh-oh.
Okay, the next one is council comments. Anybody have any comments? Jody?
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, I was able to attend the Rural Transportation Summit, which is an annual gathering of transportation professionals around the state. It's basically people who work in transportation outside of Tucson and Phoenix. They call it rural. In transportation circles, we call it Greater Arizona. But the big thing that's important, and I appreciate that Councilmember Mallory shared this opportunity with me, is it's the networking and getting to know the people who are connected to the money. That's very important for us as a community and as a region. It was good information. It was very well attended. So certainly, as we work with SIMPO and with ADOT and Federal Highways, we'll continue with those relationships. So I appreciate that, and that's good for us.
Thank you, Mary. Any other? If not, we'll go to the consent agenda. Laura Lee will read that.
All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately for discussion and possible action. A, approving the October 18th work study minutes. B, accounts payable. C, adopting the Yavapai County multi-jurisdictional, let's see if I can get that, multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. D, approving a contract with Kitchen Sink not to exceed $23,111.22. Those figures crack me up. Where does 22 cents go? Coming from a sponsorship and ticket sales for our very own Mayor Scrooge Celebration Gala on November 11th, 2018.
Thank you, Laura. Next, we have to vote on it. I think I'm going to abstain from this because of one item. But anyway, we need a motion and a second. Anyone?
Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to make a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, with a motion and a second, will you set the vote, Diane?
That passes, Mayor.
Thank you.
6 ayes and 1 abstain.
Okay, we'll move on into number...
Excuse me, sir. The party is on.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, we'll move on to 9A, consideration about appointing Guy Brown to the MPC. Do you have any comments there, Laura?
No, I'm just think how lucky we are. I have to read this, so bear with me. One position on the Municipal Property Corporation Board became open with Edmund Corrigan, resigned effective May 4, 2018, due to his new appointment onto the Building Board of Adjustments. Mr. Corrigan was appointed to the Municipal Property Corporation Board on December 1st, 2016, to fill an existing term with a renewal date of November 18, 2019. The vacancy was advertised, and 2 applicants were received. Myself and Councilman Rick Anderson and Marty Grossman conducted the interviews and are recommending the appointment of Guy Brown to fill the vacancy made by Edmund Corrigan's departure, with a term renewal date of November 18th, 2019. And Mr. Brown, come on up.
Mr. Brown there?
Oh, I thought I saw him. I don't. All right. Okay. Well, this will be quick and easy.
Any other comments or motions? Anyone? Mary? Rick or...
Mayor.
Mary?
I can make a motion. A motion to appoint Guy Brown to the Municipal Property Corporation Board to a term with a renewal date of November 18, 2019.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Will you set the vote?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, move on then to number B, consideration of authorizing the mayor to sign resolution number 2074, adopting and approving an amended final development plan plat, FDP 18-015 for Stone Ridge Unit 8A. Richard, you got any comments?
Briefly, Mayor, Council, you approved this plat in May of this year for 29 lots on, I think, 8 acres. It was approved, and the developer started working on the type of housing that they would offer on these lots, and they found that the setbacks, which are required in the R1L, made difficult placement of the lot product that they wanted to put on these lots. So they came to us and asked for some sort of relief. We worked it out. The right-of-ways are being proposed to be reduced from 50 to 40 feet on these short cul-de-sacs. We ran it by Public Works. They concur that there's no hazard to the public with a reduced right-of-way. The roadway width will continue to be the standard of 24 feet. This matter has been posted and noticed. We've received no objection to it, and we would recommend approval.
Any questions? Anyone? Comments? Motions? Demotions? Mike?
Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to make a motion if there's no comments.
Okay.
A motion to authorize the mayor in his absence the vice mayor to sign resolution 2074 adopting and approving an amended final development plan plat for Stone Ridge Unit 8A amended.
I'll second that.
Okay, with a motion and a second, would you set the vote, Dan?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, move on to C. Consideration of approving the purchase of new PBPD vehicles. Chief, any?
Mr. Mayor, if I could kind of jump in on
Larry?
that to start with.
Okay.
We've been talking about this because this is a really good deal. A lot of departments would like to get these kinds of vehicles, and these are really good prices that have been discovered. The challenge we've got is finding a basis on which we can purchase them. And the RFCA that you have in front of you today anticipated that we would have evidence that this purchase had occurred in California under a regular bid process, that the sheriff or the LAPD would have put it out to bid, then perhaps not purchased it after all, and we could then participate in that process through our cooperative purchasing ordinance provisions. Unfortunately, you've got a letter now in the packet from the department indicating that they've done some more research, and it appears that in this particular case, they never were bid. The agency apparently purchased these vehicles expecting to receive a bid and never did. And so now we've got a good price and a good opportunity, but we don't have a basis yet under which we can make the purchase. I think the manager is anxious to try to find a way to make this work, and perhaps there will be an opportunity to just do our own bid process where we might be able to pull this off. But at this point in time, we don't have the ability to go forward as it sets forth in the RFCA. So we're suggesting that you go ahead and table the matter until we can look at it further. Yeah.
Is that what you think too, Larry?
I'd like a good price, but we also have rules to follow. And it would be hard to believe that an agency, although in a different state, wouldn't have gone out for a purchase of over 100 vehicles and not done it with a bid or something. But apparently that didn't happen, and so we can do our own bid process and take advantage of this screaming deal. We'd hate to let that get away.
I hate to miss a good deal. Chief, did you have anything to add to that? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Rick.
Well, I just have a question. What about the other two vehicles? I mean, it seems to me there were 4 vehicles, is that correct, that were involved in this process?
Yes.
Because I know the police department needs these vehicles.
The 3 are on order, 4 were ordered.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chief.
I mean, I'm hoping we're going to get some of these vehicles.
Mayor and Council, so originally this budget year we were supposed to get 5 total vehicles, a K-9 vehicle, a new animal control vehicle, and then 3 of the Ford Explorers for patrol use. When we found out about this, originally what we were looking at is because of the price of these vehicles, we were hoping to get out of the purchase order that we had given to Peoria Ford for the 3 Fords and get 5 of the Chargers for the same price. Unfortunately, they wouldn't let us out of the purchase order, but we did find one agency in the valley that did buy 1 of the 3. So the other 2 are still on order. They are still going to be delivered We're hoping sometime in December. And I'll be honest with you, we'll probably be looking or inquiring with this dealership in California come next budget cycle if they have any more of these left, because you just can't get them that price, and they come with a full warranty and everything, and low mile. There's no miles on them hardly.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were getting.
yeah, we are getting 2 of the Fords in I think December.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just, in response to that, we probably want to do it with a new RFCA is the point. We had this all kind of packaged, and so we'd like to bring you an RFCA that allows you to make that purchase or approve those purchases all together.
Okay, so that'll be coming back to us.
Yes. So we urge you to go ahead and table this.
Anybody want to make a motion to table it?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion to table this item on our calendar and bring it back when it's ready.
Second that.
Okay, with a motion and a second, will you set the vote, Dan?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Chief?
Thank you, Mayor.
We do better next time.
I hope so.
Thank you so much. Okay, one more item we have, and that's comments from the public, and for that, we're going to have Rick do that.
I'll be happy to, Mayor. Comments from the public. Consideration and discussion of general unscheduled comments from the public. Those wishing to address the council need not request permission in advance. Any such remarks shall be considered or shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any member thereof. Such remarks shall be limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. At the conclusion of the unscheduled comments, individual members of the council may respond to the item addressed at the discretion of the mayor, or they may ask the town manager to review the matter or ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda.
Okay, anyone have any comments? Glenn? Good to see you.
Mr. Mayor, Council, and staff, I came from a different state that didn't have a state income tax, so I was really pleasantly surprised that my tax preparer told me that I could write a check to any charitable organization in lieu of a state income tax, in which I did, supported my grandchildren through a school. My last grandchild will be gone next year, so I would like to know how to get a hold of this. Is Robin Layton? Is that a staff member of Prescott Valley, or is that independent? How do I get a hold of this individual?
Robin is, I believe, Big Brothers Big Sisters, isn't it? Yeah, Big Brothers Big Sisters.
If you want, we got the proclamation there. You're welcome to have that too.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and take that too, but.
No, that's so basically I can contact this individual to find out what I can do in the next year or so in lieu of the state tax. Thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Anyone else got any comments? Yes, come on up. I didn't see you there, Doctor. That's good to see you.
Thank you. I just got out of another meeting somewhere else in the district. This may be the last time that I get to represent PVEDF as a member of the board to you all, as well as my time is drawing near to retire in December. And I just want to thank you. You are a wonderful town, and we're just so fortunate you have a Pike College to serve you. And I'll do everything I can to get the next president whipped into shape to help them quickly understand what gift they have and what treasure they have in Prescott Valley. So I just want to say thank you. And now keep in mind, I have nothing to do with the selection of the next president, but no. But just thank you for everything. So that's all.
You sure you want to retire?
Oh, yeah, I want to be with my husband for a while.
Well, you've been super. We really appreciate that. Yeah, Larry?
Yeah, Mayor and Council, Dr. Wills, I would like to thank you for something. And that is, you took advantage of a clause in a contract. You were our partners to go ahead and build onto this wonderful library, build classroom space and all that. You took advantage of a clause in that to go ahead and withdraw the dollars in that investment. And I want to applaud you because you turned right around and you're investing that money back into the town of Prescott Valley with your campus here and plans for an addition here and other things. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So our money is not leaving the community, and so we get a 2-for-1 out of it. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And the second floor is now finished. I think we'll get the release for that from the contractor any day now, even though I've been up there without a hard hat, so don't tell anybody from OSHA or wherever. But then the next set of remodeling starts happening on that and bringing all the student services down here for our students, and then as well as the Regional Economic Development Center will be moving here. They're in already. Maybe not legally, but they're in. So,
Thank you. Laura Lee would like to comment.
Dr. Wills, I want to thank you for all the lunches that we shared. I want to thank you for all the personal conversations we had. I want to thank you because you understood the vision we had here. You shared it, and you helped to build with it and on it. And we don't want you to retire, and we're sad about it, but we want you to be happy. And you're making your husband happy, and that's a great
we hope so.
thing.
I mean, adjusting, both of us are going through it as far as, and now we can laugh about it at dinner. We've never been together 24/7.
Yeah.
So if you know of a good marriage counselor, let me know. Okay. Anyway, just thank you all. Just thank you.
Blessings on both of you.
Thank you.
Just remember, we have Volunteer Central, so if you get tired of each other, you could always come and volunteer for us.
Okay, sounds good.
Anyone else have any comments? If not, then we have one more item to take care of, and that's a motion to adjourn. Anyone want to adjourn, or do you want to keep going?
Oh, Mayor, I'll make a motion. It's hard to do, but I'll do it.
I'll second.
Okay, with a motion and a second, would you set the vote, Diane?
Passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming.